The plant in Candiac, which is just outside of Quebec, is the only LFP plant in outside of Asia. And when we took it over, we dismantled all of the and decommissioned all the wastewater handling, and then recommissioned it back using small reactors to about 200 tons.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Dan Blundell. He's the CEO of Nano One Materials Corp. And Dan, good to have you back again. How are you?
Great, Steve. Always good to be back here. Thank you.
Yeah, well, exciting news out from the company, securing $18 million in financing from the Quebec government. And obviously, you're in the industry where these kind of grants are available, and this is a sizable one for the company, Dan.
It is indeed, and it comes in and correspondent matches and complements the one we got from the Department of Defense just 2 months ago as well. Also about $18 million in Canadian terms.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this particular fund and where the money's coming from.
So it's an $18 million financing package. $15 million of it is in the form of a loan, and $3 million of it is in the form of a grant.
Yeah. So Dan, what does this allow you to do now, adding more of this funding?
So the funding here, like the funding from the U.S. Department of Defense, is directed mainly towards the plant we have in Candiac, and this is as we've described before, the plant in Candiac, which is just outside of Quebec, is the only LFP plant in outside of Asia. And when we took it over, we dismantled all of the and decommissioned all the wastewater handling, and then recommissioned it back using small reactors to about 200 tons. The DoD funds and the Investissement Quebec funds are directed towards bringing it back to 600,000 plus tons per annum, and that's really about automating and replumbing some of the existing equipment to bring it back to that scale of piloting, demonstration, and production.
Yeah, and that's still on track, right? Maybe just give everyone an update on where the plant's at.
Yeah, so we've invested a bunch of money in these existing 200-ton reactors, and that actually falls into the funding that the Quebec government is looking to do. So it's actually backdated 2 years. There's 2 years worth of spending here that we will be receiving reimbursements on. And then it extends out another year and a half as well for funds towards bringing this plant up to a larger scale. That's basically is re-enabling these existing reactors that we decommissioned when we first came into the plant. So that kind of hopefully that gives you a sense of where we're about halfway through the project that we pitched to the government a couple of years ago, and so the funding is retroactive to that, and it is basically a loan, but we don't have to repay it for 5 years, and so it's a really kind of a sweetheart deal for us. It really enables us to drive our long-term goals forward, and really helps extend our runway as well.
Yeah, and does that give you now, as you mentioned, the runway there, which is important because there's a lot of work behind the scenes and talking to manufacturers, talking to people, OEMs, things like that, in order to get sort of 2025, which will be obviously, I think, a very pivotal year for the company.
Yes, so it's obviously it's very important. I think the cash in the door for expenses already paid is going to be important for the company, and so is the future cash flow to keep the plant to operate the plant and get it back up to 1,000 tons. That's going to feed into our licensing strategy to demonstrate the technology in full-scale equipment for potential licensees for larger plants. It also feeds into really our production and sampling strategy, using the existing assets here to drive first revenues, to drive sampling out to future customers and strategics as well.
Exciting times for the company, Dan. Congratulations. That's very exciting, and good to talk to you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. All the best.
All right, Dan Blundell, the CEO of Nano One Materials Corp.